All right, what's up, man? Thank you so much for joining us today. First, can you just give us name, position, and where you're from?
All right, my name's Jake Watson. I'm from Boone, North Carolina. I played at Watauga High School, and I play linebacker.
Awesome. Okay, so first question, why football? And, what made you want to play football over other sports, perhaps?
Well, I'd always played football, baseball, basketball, just as many sports as I could. And baseball was actually my first love. But in high school, when I really started focusing on sports, I chose baseball and football. And I didn't know which one I wanted to play because I didn't really think about playing college sports. But then I got my first offer junior year in football, and from then on I'm playing football.
Hyper focus.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, awesome. When did you realize? So you're playing. You get your first offer junior.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when you realized that you were good enough to play at the next level, or did you think earlier on that was a goal or ambition you had?
I'd say once I first starting on varsity, my sophomore year, was when I was like, wow, I'm starting on varsity as a sophomore, and I thought that was a big deal, And I was like, maybe I am good enough, but it wasn't really there. But then at the end of sophomore year, after I made first team all conference and everything, I was like, this might be something I want to do, play football in college.
That's awesome. So you're deciding, you're looking through all your offers. What made you decide to go with Mars Hill?
So in high school, I was a dual enrollment kind of guy. So I had all these credits from the community college near Boone. Caldwell is what it was called. And I had all these credits that would transfer. And if they transferred in, I would be like a second semester sophomore or junior, somewhere around there. And so that made me pick schools that were in-state. And out of my offers in-state, Mars Hill was the one with the best coaching staff that I had the most faith in and that I felt like I would be the best player at and student.
That's awesome. Do you still feel that way?
I do. Yes, sir. I do.
That's good. That's good.
Without a doubt.
Put you on the hot seat. All right. So one of my favorite questions to ask anybody that plays any sport at the next level, at the collegiate level or higher, do you have like a oh crap moment, like this is different, this is not what not necessarily this isn't what I signed up for, but this is not what I'm used to?
Well, my freshman year was a little different in that it was COVID, so we didn't really play many games. So first of all, probably our first full pad hitting practice, when I lined up out there and all of the offensive linemen were over 6 foot and over 280 pounds, I was like, wow, these guys are big. And then you look at the running backs and they're 215, 220 pounds. And then that spring we ended up practicing 60 something times in a row, full pads. So I was like, yeah, this is a lot different.
That's awesome. That's a good time to come in.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
I got to learn a lot.
Was the speed of the game a shock at all, or was that probably the least of what shocked you compared to the size?
It's the speed of the game didn't shock me as much, but the size difference and that you actually had to really focus on technique and your fundamentals rather than in high school. You could just bulldoze through somebody and make a tackle. It was not like that at all in college. Yeah.
That makes sense. Sense. All right. Is there anybody either outside of sports or inside of sports, that you look to for inspiration or maybe even model your game after?
Well, I've always been a big Gator fan. My parents went to college there, and that's where I'm originally from. So Tim Tebow was that guy when I was little, and having a faith and seeing an athlete like that be so profound in his faith, I never had a question of who I looked up to. It was always Tim Tebow.
Not to get off on a Tim Tebow tangent.
Yeah.
How old were you when Tim Tebow was?
Would have been 2009. I would have been 7, 8.
Oh, you got it when you're really, because I was in high school when Tebow. I mean, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's gonna people saw his pro career or saw what lack thereof.
Yeah.
But they don't really understand. Go back and watch some Tim Tebow highlights. Shout out to
listen to some of his locker room speeches, man.
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody? So he plays obviously on the other side. Is there anybody on the defensive side of the ball that you try to maybe even just take tips from or take some different maneuvers from?
Yeah. Well. I always liked watching Luke Kuechly play for the Carolina Panthers. Man, he was fast. That man was just a stud, and it was somebody who I thought I could model my game after because he was a lot faster and just some of the things that man does, man. He's just a stud.
Yeah, Kuechly was awesome. Are you a Panthers fan?
I am a Panthers fan.
So that helps too.
Yeah.
And you had awesome linebackers during that whole time period.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, Luke Kuechly was a beast. All right, so what are some of your aspirations? You can give me with sports, and you can also give me outside of sports.
I really just want people to know that I have a faith and that I that first and foremost, I want to spread the word, like, Jesus loves you, like, he's the way, the truth, the life. And second of all, I want people, after I'm done playing here, to be like, that guy put everything he had on the field. He left everything out there. And I really just want to be a good role model for all the younger guys and for my teammates and my coaches.
That's awesome. That's an awesome answer.
And
I put you on the fly with that. It wasn't scripted. What's your major?
Business.
Do you have some type of concept of what you want to do after? Or you still trying to figure those things out?
Well, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I graduate this May with a business administration degree. And one of the other reasons I came here is because they have that 1-year master's program. So I'm going to end up my 4th year taking the master's program of the business management. And hopefully I can end up using that. But football paid for a degree, so,
Yeah,
can't
it's
really
awesome.
Go wrong there.
Can't get any better than that. All right, so this can be high school, collegiate level. I'd love to hear the college level. Mm-hmm. What's the hardest place you've had to play? And it could have been fans, environment. You could have had the flu one day. What's the hardest place you had to play?
It was either one of two places. When we first played Lenore Ryan, my sophomore year at third place, I'd never been to a D2 college football game that was that loud, man. And it was awesome playing under the lights, hearing the atmosphere and everything. And I literally think like it was shaking a little bit. And then last year at Newberry, I was coming off a torn MCL, but when I went in and hearing everybody and being out there on the field again, man, it just it was unbelievable.
It's a really cool experience, right? Because it was the first time they did the conference championship that way with the Mountain Division and everything. And yeah, LR Stadium is absolutely wild. If you've never seen LR Stadium, it's a really cool way to build a stadium. Shout out. I mean, as much as I hate them, shout out to them. So favorite game you've been a part of? This could be part of those, but
I'd have to say last year, Barton, when we played them. It was a really close game. I probably had one of my best games. Then I think I finished with like 11 tackles in the first half. And It was just my first opportunity where I was like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm playing out here, and I just felt like I was on top of the world, man. Like it was I can't describe the feeling, but it was unbelievable, and I was so glad to be a part of it.
I have to personally thank you for that game because my daughter was born on that day, and I was watching.
Way.
Yeah, I was watching it on my phone with my wife asleep and our daughter asleep, and I was like, if we don't win this game, when the quarterback scrambled at the end of the game and threw that crazy pass, I was like, oh my gosh,
dropped.
No, because y'all were playing unreal, and the defense specifically was unreal in that game. So. Thank you for that. It would have been a really weird day to be like, well, my daughter was born, and then we lost. Awesome. So, following that, obviously, really good season. The past 2 seasons, got some change of personnel, but you're going into a fall with a lot of senior personnel, especially on defense.
Oh yeah.
What are some goals you have for this fall? You can give me team goals and then personal as well.
I think team goals obviously is to get to the conference championship, and from there to win a national championship. I think that is our goal, and I think that's something we can definitely do. And as far as defense, I know last year we allowed some points that we didn't want to. I know we had a good defensive year last year, but obviously we want to allow less points, less passing yards, and a lot less big plays. And on offense, I think our goal should just be to move the ball we know we're capable of doing and put guys in the right spot, and I think our coaches are going to do a great job of doing that.
Yeah. What specifically with the defense, keeping with that, what's something that you feel like you bring to the table? Because all the three main middle linebackers that have been here for a while all bring something completely different. What do you think that you bring?
I think I bring intensity. I think I bring speed at inside linebacker, and I'm just there to play, man. I think I bring a competitive level that just isn't common, and I just have a lot of confidence in our guys on the defense, and we all trust each other like 100%.
You didn't even mention the flowing hair. You bring the flowing hair to the defense.
Oh, no, man.
That's a big part of it.
That's going to somebody else.
All right. I really appreciate you coming out. Do you have any shout-outs? Anybody you want to shout out or any
just say thank you to my family for always coming to my games and coming to watch me play even when I was on the sidelines. I mean, it means a lot. They've always been there and sacrificed so many things just to come and watch me play a game that I love. So really just my family.
I appreciate it. I think it's awesome. Like, to have come during the COVID year and stick it out and then go the way the past two seasons have.
Yeah.
Hopefully lead into a third season just like that.
Yeah, this one's going to be even better.
Awesome. Hey,
Yes,
I really
sir.
appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching this interview with the Marshall University football program. If you all enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe for more.